What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm going to hit the subscribe button, and if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Royalty, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I achieved this look. As usual, I'm going to go in and start pushing my client's cuticle back. As you know, if you've been here before, this is always my first step. Removing the cuticle from the nail plate always helps because it allows you to ensure longevity of the nails. Usually if you leave the cuticles pushed forward when you're laying acrylic, it will definitely get in the way and cause lifting later on. So now I am going to go in with my ball bit. Again, this is super repetitive, but this is definitely a part of my prep routine, which is why I will always include it in my videos if I include prep, because this is just the way that I ensure that the nails do not fall off, that they don't give my clients any trouble and allow any water to seep in from now to week 4 or 6. But yeah, just go in lightly, very lightly, because this is a delicate area. You want to make sure that you're not cutting your client at this point because it will hurt them and they will bleed, and this is an area that tends to bleed a lot. I, by the grace of God, have not cut anybody during my whole career, and I plan to keep it that way. Moving forward, I'm now taking my 180 grit sanding band, and I am literally just removing the shine off of her nails. A lot of the times, nail techs get it confused and they think that they have to spend a lot of time doing this, where that's not the case. You literally just want to remove the shine. You don't want to remove any enamel, so I don't suggest going over it a million times. Literally just run your drill across it maybe not even one time, because you have to go around a couple of times to get that shine off. Just remove the shine and don't try to remove the actual enamel. And at this point, I believe my drill is at 5 RPMs. I never go any more than that, and I am definitely using light pressure. I did remove her cuticles off camera with a cuticle scissor, but at this point now I dusted off the nails and I'm taking my Swipe by Young Nails. Y'all know this is my holy grail, and just removing all of those dust particles and dehydrating the nail for when I'm ready to apply the tips, which is now. The tips that I am using are from the Attitude Shop. I believe this is their 3XL tapered square tips. I'm not too sure. I have to go look again, but usually I only use Attitude Shop tips because I just find that it gives me the best shape. To glue on the nails, as usual, y'all know I use my KDS glue. It is another holy grail product, and that's one of the only glues that I use. At this point, you want to make sure you're measuring sidewall to sidewall and be sure that the nails are fitted perfectly to your client. I always take a step back and make sure that the nails are all aligned in the right direction. A lot of the times your client's nails might be a little crooked, which is just human, and you're going to have to fix that. In order to fix it, you have to follow the path of your client's knuckle and not their actual nail. I can make a video going more in depth on what I mean by this. It's easier shown than described. I think I'm gonna actually put up a video on my TikTok and Instagram reels. So if you follow me on those socials, I will be putting up more tips as well. But yeah, always double check your work, because nothing is more frustrating than when you already laid the acrylic and you realize that your client's tip is going into the other finger, and there's basically no way to fix that at that point without messing up the shape. So now I'm going to take a nail form. It could be any nail form, but this one is from Too Cute Nails, and I literally use that to measure and show my client exactly where I'm cutting them to see if it's the length that they approve. I find that this way just gives them a better idea of where their nails are going to fall, and it's easier for me to explain the difference between lengths. So yeah, definitely if you're struggling to, like, a lot of the times I would have clients who are like, I don't want them too long, and then I'll cut them, and then because they didn't have that visual, they didn't realize that it was going to be longer than what they expected it was going to be. So to eliminate that problem, this is just what saved me. And then this is based on preference, but for me, I always make the nail ashy. I always say ashy and y'all always clown me in the comments, but I always remove the shine from the tips just so that I can see the nails a little bit better when I pre-shape. I know that the tips come pre-shaped for you, but I just feel like I like to align the tip better with my client's natural nail bed. So even if it is from sidewall to sidewall, I want to make sure it's super crisp, and that's just the perfectionist in me. So yeah, this step is definitely optional. You do not have to do this. This is just my preference on how I perfect the shape of all of my clients' nails. And then at this point, I'm going in with my 80 to 80 grit, not sanding band, my 80 to 80 grit file. And I'm just, like I said, trying to pre-shape just a little bit more so that I get an idea and I get a perfect, flawless application. You'll find that the more that you focus on prep and application, the less filing you'll have to do at the end. So I take that very seriously at this point, and I just like to ensure that everything is crisp, all my lines are straight, and I get a nice flawless application, which you'll see later that I absolutely did. So now moving on, just as always, I am taking my Mia Secret Duo. I am taking the nail dehydrator first and putting that on the nail beds, and then I go in with the Bond Prep. Make sure you're fully saturating the nails when you do this step, only because you want to make sure that these nails do not budge. Like I said, don't do a little swipe and expect it to work. Make sure you get all over the nail bed to make sure that the acrylic sticks onto that nail. And now we're moving on to acrylic application. If you are a beginner, then I highly suggest you focusing mainly on application. The quicker you perfect application, the quicker you will be the nail tech of your dreams. I promise you, because it's like as soon as I mastered laying acrylic, it's like everything else clicked. That way I was realizing, like, when it came down to shaping, the way that your acrylic lies really depends on how your shape is going to turn out. The less filing you have to do at the end, the better. And again, especially if you're working on like your timing, and I know as beginners we tend to spend a lot of time on certain nails. Like a nail set that should probably take you 2 to 3 hours will take you double that. So just for me, a tip that works for me was to perfect my shaping. I actually think that acrylic application might take the longest time for me out of like all the steps that I'm doing. I think I spend the most time on acrylic application only because I know the importance of it and building the structure of the nail. I want to make sure everything is coherent at the end of the day. So the design does take time, but I think acrylic application is even more important. And you want to ensure the longevity of these nails. I keep saying that because I always see nail retention videos, and I know that as beginners, a lot of the times our nails don't stick to our clients, and it's very frustrating when someone texts you a picture like, hey sis, this nail popped off, this one popped off, this one's lifting, this, that, and the third. So I highly suggest, along with prep, to focus on your application and later sealing the cuticles. When I'm doing acrylic application though, I'm not going to tell you that I have any specific way of doing it. I don't do a specific 3-bead method. I don't do a specific 1-bead method. I just feel like it depends on the client. Like this client here has kind of a smaller nail bed, so 1 bead was necessary with the size brush that I'm using. I believe that this is a size 16 brush. I used to start with a size 12 or 14, and I just felt like for me it made me have to pick up more and more beads, whereas when I use a bigger brush, I feel like it picks up just enough. But again, it's all on your preference, and as you develop into becoming a nail tech, you will see what works for you. This is just what works for me. You'll see as I'm applying the acrylic on my clients' nails, I definitely, for a majority of them, use the 1-bead method. But if when I laid that acrylic I felt like I needed to add more at the apex, then I would definitely go back and add as I feel necessary. There are no rules to nails this day and age. If someone tells you you have to do a 3-bead method, if someone tells you you have to do a 1-bead method, they are lying to you, sis. There are no rules. You do what works for you and what gets the job done the quickest. That is my biggest advice when it comes to laying your acrylic beads. It took me a while to get here, but I got here. So just definitely keep that in mind when you have that goal. This acrylic I'm using is actually just one that I created. It is in a Valentino jar, and usually when I'm running out of a certain color, like this one is closest to classic nude, I will go in with my other acrylics and I'll mix them together with the clear and customize it to the way that I think they should look. Alright, and after my acrylic is all laid down, as you can see, it is a flawless finish. At this point, I am taking that 80 to 80 grit file, and again, I am going to perfect the shape, and this is just for me so that I can see an idea of what the nail is going to look like before I go ahead and go around her cuticles to seal them. It's important to detach your client's skin from the sides. I know that a lot of people forget to do that, but definitely push your client's skin away from the side walls before you file, because you can cut your clients. As you can see, I use my thumb and then I go in with that side, and then same thing, I'll push the file in between the skin and her nails just to make sure that I have ways that I'm not filing her skin off, because that would be very painful. This is another optional step. I know a lot of people say that this in-between filing is a waste of time because you're going to have to go in at the end. But I say, like I always say, there's no rules, and it's about what works for you. This is what works for me and the way that my clients love their shape at the end of the day. So yeah, girl, please do not get discouraged when you are doing nails. It is hard out here. Like, even now, as someone who's been doing this for years, I'm struggling with my clientele, only because it's like people aren't coming as often because their nails are lasting for so long. So I guess it's a good thing for my clients, but it's a bad thing for me, because now I'm only seeing those clients like once a month, and it's like, if I was working in a chop shop, I'm pretty sure I'd be seeing y'all every other week. But I don't care. I love what I do. I'm finding other things to do in my spare time, like YouTube, and I enjoy making reels and genuinely being a content creator. So I guess it works out. Now, at this point, I am taking my Melody Susie drill. I am always using my Melody Susie drill. I don't care what anybody says. Melody Susie has not crashed down on me. It has been working with me for about 2 years now. And I actually got a brand deal with them. So this is after I've been using this drill. This is just new. So I just felt like it was a perfect collab, because literally I've been using Melody Susie since the beginning and it has not failed me. But this is their it's not their wireless drill. I have to look and see which drill this is, but I did get it from Amazon years ago. I have no idea how much it costs. But again, like I said, some people say just cut off on them. For me, it's been working for 2 years, so by the grace of God, I'm gonna just say that to each his own. But yeah, now I'm taking this drill at, I believe, 8 RPMs. The highest I usually go at this point is like 10, only because I'm not trying to debulk. As you can see, the application was perfect, so I don't have to necessarily debulk the nail. I just have to seal the cuticles, and then I do go against the free edge just a little bit to perfect the shape. As far as e-filing, you just have to get a feel of it and make sure that you are holding your client's nails in a stable position. Otherwise, you get that thing where the drill goes crazy and it goes around the nail. That just means that you're not holding your client's nails stable enough. Now, don't hurt them, but definitely hold them with more of a firm grip to ensure that that drill doesn't go crazy. And as you can see, I like to rest my pinky on my other hand. That just gives me the stability I need to make sure that I am being precise. Again, everybody's preference is their own. And I forgot to mention that I am using my Piana 5-in-1 drill bit. It is in my Amazon storefront. Anything that you see in this video will be listed in my Amazon storefront, unless otherwise, like if it's not on Amazon, then I'll just apply the link in the description box. But yeah, this is the same drill bit that I've been using, the 5-in-1, and again, it's become another holy grail product. I love that the end of it isn't sharp, so it's practically impossible to cut your client. So for a beginner, I definitely suggest getting this drill bit. It's a 5-in-1, so you can debulk, but you can also seal the cuticle, which makes it the best drill bit ever. With e-filing, I don't use a bunch of different drill bits. I use the ones that I find necessary when I need to use it. Like, let's say that, I had a hard time with application and I need to debulk, then I will use a different drill bit. But like, it's circumstantial. For majority of the cases, I do go in with this 5-in-1 bit, and it hasn't failed me yet. The way that you know you're done sealing the cuticle is when you see that the cuticle line is flush to their natural nail bed. Also, when you have short nails, you do not need a super huge apex. I feel like that just doesn't look good now in 2024. The girls is liking more of a soft girl era look. We are not looking to have that super big artificial nail. Again, it's about preference and is what you like, but the way that the trend has been going as of lately, it's more on the natural side, which is where the smaller apex comes in. Now I go back again with my 80 to 80 grit file, and you're gonna see me now perfect the shape even more. I do go along the sides. You're gonna see it's not necessarily flat against the sidewall, it's sideways. And this is done just to ensure that everything is aligned. You want to make sure that all of your lines are straight. And I move in a short stroke motion. When you tend to do longer strokes, sometimes it makes the nail uneven, or it'll make it kind of lopsided. And when you file like with long strokes, I find that it doesn't give you the crisp shape that you're looking for. Well, that I'm looking for. Again, like I said, this is all preferential. Is that a word? It's all preferable. I think that's the right word. But yeah, literally, you just got to figure out what works with you. As a nail tech, you're going to learn that trends change. And I'm telling you, from the time that I started to now, I had no idea the direction that I would become a nail tech in. Like some people specialize more so with cartooning. Some people specialize more with gem placement, but I feel like my style is more anything that's gonna challenge me. Like, I love a challenge, and I definitely love the opportunity to grow, and that's exactly what being a nail tech entails. This is a industry that is constantly moving in so many different directions that it's just all about where you end up. And I feel like when you're just starting out, you don't really know where you're gonna end up, and this is why I feel like this is what a true journey is, because you never know where you're landing. You just know that you have to get better and better. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. Also, you can't really see, but I do end up flipping my client's hand around to make sure that from her angle, from her direction, it looks like the nails are super straight. You always want to flip and look at your client's nails from different angles to be sure that they're satisfied. And another tip that I suggest is to always ask your client what they like and if they need anything fixed before you go ahead and move on to the next step, which is nail art. The goal is to people please. You want to make sure that your clients are happy with the work that you are doing. Obviously, if they booked you, then they are happy with your work, but you just want to give them the opportunity to tell you. Like, sometimes the line might be not straight to you, like the free edge, it might not be straight to them, and then you ask them and you fix it. That way you have no complaints. You literally are here to satisfy your client as well as satisfy your need to be a nail tech. So now I am just spraying alcohol all over my client's nails, and then I'm going to use that paper towel and just dust her off. At this point, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I ran out of the lint-free wipe, so I've been using my Bounty rolls, which you gotta do what you gotta do, baby girl. Sometimes you gotta work with what you got. So yeah, just cleaned off her nails, got rid of all of that dust. I did go in with swipe. I don't think I showed on camera, But yeah, now the one thing that will change your life is this chrome polish that I got from Amazon. I don't know what's in this stuff, but it saves the time and literally cuts the time in half, because you don't have to do a powder chrome. Literally, it's a polish that is a chrome and it looks flawless. Like, and then I also realized that when I do chrome powder with the black base, I don't know what it is, but I do experience a lot of chipping, or my clients usually experience a lot of chipping, where you can see like the black edges sometimes. Like, I guess it's just wear and tear. But when I do the chrome polish, I swear this thing does not move. Like, my clients come back weeks later and literally it is still like day one. So definitely go to Amazon. This product is inside of my storefront, because I swear to God, I found this and I never looked back. I need to get every other shade that they have. They also have like gold. I think I saw like a blue chrome. They have other chromes. But yeah, this is definitely worth it. Like this right here, this is a product that I didn't know I needed until I got it. So yeah, right now I am taking my nails by Deb as usual. I'm using my 9mm brush, and this is literally a brush that I've been using for years now. She does have newer brushes in her collection that I have to go take a look at. Yeah, this is definitely a great brush for Frenches, and I just got adapted to using this brush. It's like super thin and it works with you, not against you, and y'all know how I get when it comes to products like that. The way I make my Frenches, I kind of just freestyle. I always paint the sidewalls and then I connect the smile line. And again, you want to make sure that your client is happy with the smile line that you do. Some people like it a little lower, some people like it higher, some people like more of an arch, some people like it more rounded. It just depends on what your client wants. For this specific set though, this is a recreation set. My client saw this set on Instagram, so she sent it to me and asked me if I would be able to do it. And of course, like I said, I love a challenge. So we literally just recreated this set. I'm going to insert a picture of what the set looks like so you get a better idea. But I think I nailed it. My client and I was like super happy with the results of this. Like, this literally came out just like the picture. We were both satisfied. Also, really quickly before I move on to the next step, I wanted to mention to you guys that I found a way for us techs that struggle with freestyling. I am going to put you guys on really soon. I've been working on this, which is why I've been MIA on YouTube, where I'm not posting as much. But I've been working on something that is going to help you as a beginner tech, as someone or as somebody who struggles with doing freestyles. I literally found the solution and I cannot wait to let you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just excited because your life is about to get so much easier, because I know for a fact mine did. And yeah, just wanted to throw that disclaimer out there for you. But yeah, back into the video. And also something that I didn't mention is that I did end up bringing the French line a little bit lower as per my client's request. She said that she wanted the silver part to show just a little bit more, because we were going to be drawing like abstract pink lines on top. So she wanted to make sure that that chrome was accentuated. Is that the right word? I feel like I'm struggling with my vocabulary and I need to go back to reading so that I could get back with it. But yeah, I did end up going back, and this is why I said it is important to communicate with your client to see what they like, and they help you see things that you don't see sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. It's a group project where you're doing nails. But yeah, I go ahead and continue with this process until I get it the way I like it. With this chrome, I only needed to do one coat. I didn't go in with 2 coats just because you'll see that this is super pigmented. So it's very unnecessary for you to go in with another layer. Oh, look, it's perfect. Right in the corner, you can kind of see the nails that I was recreating. I cannot find the picture for the life of me. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, you could kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like there. You can see this is also a trick that I do, is I put a little speck of the paint color that I'm going to use on my actual nail, so that I don't have to keep stopping. I can kind of just continue to hold her finger. And this is just something that I do. You don't necessarily have to do it, but this is what I do. Yeah, girl, we out here working smarter and not harder, and I'm here for it. Y'all, make sure you comment down below the content you want to see. If you want to see more nail art videos and in depth, or if there's anything that you want to learn specifically, if you want me to, you know, fixate on something specific, then I will definitely be making more videos. I want to do things that you're actually gonna watch. This is a video that I was supposed to put out a long time ago that was just sitting inside of my SD card, but finally we are putting down the content. It's better now than never. And yeah, I definitely, because I'm taking clients constantly, I want to be able to continuously put out the content for you. So just literally comment down below, let me know what you want to see, let me know if you struggle with anything, and I can give you my tips on how I feel is best to address whatever that situation is. I did want to start doing classes. I don't know if I'm going to do a virtual class. I think I'm going to start virtually and then move on to in-person classes, just because I feel like I have so many different like techniques and stuff that I want to share with you, and I want more of like a response back, because obviously you guys are going to comment later on, but I'm not going to see it until this video is already edited and out. So I would love for the feedback to be like instant. So if that's going to be like a Zoom or a FaceTime call where we are discussing all of these things, then I think that's the direction I'm going to lean into. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what the future has in store for me. You guys, really quickly, when you are doing these little pink lines, make sure that you are taking your time and go in different angles. The lighter pressure you use, the more fine the line is going to be, and if you add more pressure onto that line, then it's going to be a lot thicker. So just keep that in mind. This is completely abstract, nothing is identical, and you don't have to do it exactly like how I'm doing it. You can do it the way you want to do it, and it's still going to be considered your artwork. So that's the beautiful thing about recreations. It's the way that the artist sees the work. It's not necessarily how they saw the work. So at this point, I moved on. I am adding some top coat. I actually noticed that a lot of people don't add top coat before they add their gems, and I don't understand it, especially because with the rhinestone Macart glue, I feel like no matter what, it still gets a good grip, and I never have a problem with my clients' charms falling off. But for me, I just feel like I don't like the look of when the top coat is like submerged around the charm. It just looks like not good to me. So I definitely add my top coat first and then use my Macart rhinestone glue to apply the charms after I cure it. This is my preference, and like I said, you will learn things that work for you. If you don't mind the way that those charms look engulfed by the top coat, then by all means do it your way. There's no wrong way, but I'm just letting you know that I don't have a problem with charms sticking when I do it this way. Now this set was so cute, I could have completely left it the way it was, but we decided to add the charms just like the picture. My camera ended up dying, so I didn't record it. But if you want to refer to any of my other videos, you can see exactly how I did that. Now, y'all, this is my new last step before I'm finished with any set. I do go in with my fine cone bit, and then I basically carve out a C shape and I thin out the free edge just so that it gives more of a sleek, slimmer appearance. This just takes your work to a whole new level of perfection. And then I go in again with my 80 to 80 grit file, and I lightly go through all of the fingers, and I just perfect the shape even more, because sometimes when you put top coat, it kind of warps the shape. So I just kind of set that back into place, and this is it. This is how these nails came out. I thank you so much for tuning in. Again, comment down below the more content that you want to see. I'd be happy to show you. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me, and I am here always. You can reach out to me on any of my socials. But yeah, y'all, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. We made it to our 1K subscriber list. Thank you so much for the support always. Like I said, I will always give you guys your homage, because without you, there is no me. To my clients, thank you, my clients, for trusting me. And yeah, that is it for this video. If you have any questions, drop it down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.